Hi and welcome to this Giftworks video. My name is Steve Faithful, and in this video I want to show you how you can generate or create year-end donation statements or donation letters. It's a letter that contains the prior years or a certain time period's donations that can usually provide an update for your donors. This is different than creating receipts, that is legal receipts. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create those year-end, and whether that be calendar year or fiscal year, how you can create those statements or letters that contain all the donations that are given in a specific time period, like the previous year. So to get started, I'm going to sign into Giftworks. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and create a smart list. And this smart list is going to contain a list of the donations from the specific time period that I'm looking for. So in this case, I'm going to create a list of donations, click on Next, and I'm going to go under Donation Dates. And I'm going to start with Payment Date. Payment date is a date that incorporates both pledge payments and individual gifts or donations. If you just did donation date, that would just be donations, not pledge payments. So I want to incorporate both all the single gifts that were given and also the pledge payments that were made in a given specific time period. So I'm going to use the payment date. And I'm going to say, and I'm going to choose custom dates. Now I could choose one of these if I was looking at the previous fiscal year, the previous year. I could choose those, or year to date or the current fiscal year. So I could do those, but I'm going to choose custom dates, and I'm going to say is between 1/1/2010 and 12/31/2010. And so that's going to get me a list of all the donations in a given time period. And so I have 219 donations that fall within that period. And I'm going to click on Next, and I'm going to save this, and I'm just going to call this my 2010 donations, and click on Save. Now I'm going to come to a list. This is my smart list. It's the 2010 donation smart list, and I see that I have 219 donations. To get back here, I can always click on Smart Lists, click on View, and scroll down and find my 2010 donations in the uncategorized smart list category. Click on that and I come right back to here. Now I want to send out my year-end statement, so the first thing I'm going to do is click on the left-hand side and say Send Mail, and the choice I need to choose is Send Mail for these donations. If I wanted to just send a letter for the donors, I could do that, but since I'm trying to communicate about all these specific donations, that is, these for each donor I want to provide them a list of the donations that were received, I'm going to choose Send Mail for these donations. Click on Next. I'll choose my options, whether I'm going to email these or physical mail them, but I'm going to go to one of the options that's really important on this page is down at the bottom, this recipients. Right now, Giftworks is set to send one mailing per donation. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to send one letter for each donation. I want to send one per donor. And so I'm going to choose that option. That's a real important option to make sure that on one letter, you're going to have a list of all the donations that were included in that list of my 2010 donations. Click on Next. I can just verify my recipients. So I see recipients like David Armstrong have given 4 donations in that time period. I see others that have multiples as well. I'm going to choose the specific letter. So I might want to create a year-end thank you, or a year-end summary. Keep in mind this is not a receipt. This is not a legal receipt. So I just want to send a statement. So I'm going to choose, let me maybe start with the gift. I'll start with the donation letter. I'm going to modify it a little bit. One of the key parts about this kind of statement is including this customized donation table. Really important. And I'm going to say thank you for your, I'm just going to say, I'm going to modify this. You might want to do this in the letter library if you want this to be a permanent part. I'm just creating this as part of this one single mailing. Thank you for your 2010 donations and I'll just say to the organization name. Your support in 2010 was deeply appreciated. And below is a summary of your, and I'm going to just continue to add 2010 donations. And the key thing is this customized donation table. In this table will be all the donations that are part of that list. So, all the ones for each donor that are part of this list. Now I'm going to shrink this down. You notice I'm going to highlight a little bit before and a little bit after the table. And that's going to ensure that my table actually gets resized. And I'm going to bring it down to about a 9-point font. That just gets it. It's going to fit it in here. Keep in mind, this is customizable table, so if I right-click and choose Edit Customize Table, I'm going to be able to choose the different columns that I want to be visible. So in this case, I'm going to make it very simple. I'm going to say I want the date, I want the receipt number. I want the amount. Those are visible right now. I'm going to hide the fund and hide the campaign, and they don't really need to see that. And I see also I have the appeal I'm going to hide, whether it's soft credit. I'm going to be hiding all of these. So you might want to check your table to see what's visible or hidden to make sure that it looks appropriate. So right now I have date, receipt number, and amount, and that's it for now. So I'm going to click OK, and I can just verify the rest of the letter. Looks great. Click OK. Now I have this modified letter, so if I wanted to, I could go ahead and on the left-hand side, I could save this letter to my library, and I'll just call this my 2010 thank you letter. Click Save, and so now that's saved into the library, so if I need to use it in the future, I can. Click on Next. Now I'm ready to generate this mailing, but I want to preview it really quick first. So preview. And I'll see David Armstrong. If you remember, we had those 4 donations in there, so I see that. That looks great in terms of my table. If I wanted to, you'll notice that on some of the widths, let me go right back to my letter. I'm going to modify this. I'm going to make the receipt. I didn't have any receipt numbers for these, but you probably will. And you notice the width of this. If I double click here, I can actually set it to be 2 inches. Not that the receipt number would be big, but I noticed the label was wrapping, so I'm just going to actually change that to receipt number. And I'll just keep it at 1 inch. So, but you can modify the widths there if you want them to be a little bit bigger. And actually, since I don't have that much information on my table, I can make my font a little bit bigger, which I'll do that. And then I'm going to go back to generate, make sure things look good. Preview my letter again. Great, excellent. So I have my date, my receipt number, and the amount. Thank you for your generosity, etc. Click OK. Click the generate mailing. So it's going to produce now these 142 letters. Remember, there's 142 letters in this case, which means there's 142 individual donors that are going to be notified or sent summaries of 219 donations. So just remember, because of that option on the select option screen, which was to send one per donor, send one mailing per donor, that it's consolidated these down to 142 different letters. And in each of those, we'll see that. Now, one of the most important parts of this is making sure that you click the Done button to make sure that this gets recorded. Now, once you've printed these, make sure you go ahead and print them or save them. If you want to save them as documents, you could do that to print at a later time, but certainly encourage you to go ahead and print. And then when you're done, making sure that you click the Done button at the end. That's going to record in each of these donors for each of these donors that this mailing was sent. So click on Done, and that assumes I've already printed it. I can go right back to one of these donors if I wanted to. So if I wanted to, I'll just double click here, go to Alan. In this case, I'll go to my notes and I'm going to see that, great, this 2010 donations mailing was sent. So that's how you produce a year-end summary or a summary for your donations. So you start by creating the smart list. You then, once you do that, you simply go and on the left, click send mail for these donations. Once you get into the mailing process, you'll choose send one mailing per donor, set up your letter appropriately, and then go ahead and produce them and send them out. So thanks for taking time to watch us. I hope your year-end statements are created easily and hope this video helps. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.